How to play cross-hand arpeggios. First of all, an arpeggio comes from the Italian word for harp. On a harp, they play the notes one at a time. So like this, one, and they pluck their fingers like this, okay? And so you end up with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You end up with different fingers, different notes being played at the same time. Now, these are all usually notes that are in the same chord, okay? So what we do on the piano is to play an arpeggio, we play the notes of a chord, one right after the other. So if we look at the F chord, the F chord is F, A, C. Well, I just did that in my left hand. Now I can do it in my right hand. F, A, C. That's an arpeggio. What we want to do is do it one hand after the other. So we start with the left hand. F, A, C, F, A, C. And then we reach up to this F over here. And then we go back down. That's how you play an arpeggio on the piano. Let me see if I can make that a little more visible for you this time. F, A, C, F, A, C, F, C, A, F, C, A, F. It's important that you know how to go up and how to go down. Going up, F, A, C, F, A, C. Let your eyeballs look ahead to where that F key is. Play the F on the top. Now, as you go down, your right hand's going to play the C, A, F, and your left hand moves back over to the C. Watch that again. It's very important that you, as you are coming with your left hand back over, that you're looking for that C. You're looking for the place where you had started. Watch that again. To do that, when your left hand is over here, glance down where you had been. Use your eyeballs and look over here. Look for that C. Your right hand's going to stay here, but look for that C. And let that left hand slowly go back to the C. If you have to, practice F, C, F, C, F, C, so that you get used to going back to the right place. Watch the arpeggio again. So that's how you do an arpeggio, going upwards and downwards and looking back and practicing where your left hand goes back to, okay? We want this to become a habit because we don't want to just do the same pattern on F. Well, what is the pattern that we're doing? We're doing F, up a third to A, up a third to C, going to the next hand and starting on F again. F, up a third to A, up a third to C. We go over to F. The one that we started on is the one that's on the top. Okay? We're not playing any other notes except F, A, C right now. Watch that again. F up a third to A to C. To the next hand. F, A, C, over to that F, which is where we started. And now we watch our hand come all the way back to the C, C. Now we go backwards. C, A, F, C, A, F. Now that's still in what we call thirds. Now, we're going to take that same pattern of thirds, the same way of using our hands, the same idea of an arpeggio, but instead of starting on F, we're going to move our hand down one key. One key, if our pinky is on F here, then it can go down one key and start on E. Our thumbs on F here in the right hand can go down one key and start on E. So now we're going to use the same pattern of thirds, but we start on E. E up a third is G, up a third is B. Going to the right hand, E up a third to G, up a third to B. And we want to do that same pattern when we take our left hand and move it over this time to E. We're not going to go to F because we didn't start on F this time. We started on E. E, G, B, right hand, E, G, B, over left hand to E, B, G, looking for the B this time because that's where we left our hand. Watch that again. Over to E this time. Now we're going backwards, playing the B, G, E, moving our left hand back to B, G, E. That is an E minor chord. You don't have to know that it's an E minor chord right now, but what you have to know is that we're playing the notes of a chord one at a time, kind of like a harpist would play it. It's called an arpeggio. So we play E, G, B, E, G, B, over to E. And then we go back down, watching for where our left hand should go by to B, G, E. That is the E minor chord, okay? Now, we can start on another letter too. We can take our number 5, that's on E, and we can move it down to D. Let me move the camera too. Okay, so now we have number 5 on D. And I'm going to take my right hand and move it from number 1 on E to number 1 on D. Now we have this pattern. D up a third to F, up a third to A, up a fourth to the next hand, right hand, D up a third to F, up a third to A, and because we started on D, we're going to take this number 2 of the left hand and play the D up there, okay? Now once we've played that, we play the A going backwards, letting the left hand go over, D, now it has to go back to A this time. A, F, D. So we have D, F, A, D, F, A, D, A, F, D, A, F, D. Watch that again. Watch it again. Over to D, A, F, D, back to A, F, D. That is the D minor chord, okay? You don't have to know what that D minor chord is right now, but you do need to see that you are moving up in thirds, changing hands, moving thirds, moving over to the top D, coming back right where you had just played, moving that left hand back to A, down the thirds to where you started. That's the D minor arpeggio. Now, the book also asks us to take our fifth finger in our left hand and move it down to C, and take our first finger in the right hand and move it down to C, so that we can do that C chord arpeggio. We are already familiar with the C chord. We know that it's C up a third, E up a third, G. We switch hands. C up a third, E up a third, G. Now this time we're going to take the left hand and go not to F, not to E, not to D, but to C. Why did we go up to C there? Because it's the one we started with down here. This is what our arpeggio is based on. It's based on C. So C, E, G, C, E, G, over to the C. G, E, C. Now this one has to come back to G, E, C. We started here on the left hand. My thumb was on G. So when it goes back over to C, and then it comes back, my thumb and my eyeballs are looking, and they're looking for that G. And there it is. Okay? Your eyeballs have to know where it's going. Okay? So your eyeballs are looking for that G, and now there it is. Okay? So you can practice again. C, G, C, G, without doing anything in the right hand. Just let it stay there. And when you do that, your brain knows, well, my right hand's going to be there, and I know where it is, and I'm learning how far I need to go to get back to where I was. See, I missed it that time because I'm looking through the camera to do this. Okay? So if you practice that 10 times correctly in a row, you should be able to E, G, C, E, G, C, G, E, C, G, E, C. Watch that one more time. Now, in the Faber adult book, All-in-One Piano Course, it's on page 88, and it asks you to play the arpeggios. The first one is printed for you. F, A, C, F, A, C, F, C, A, F, C, A, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F. That's how it's written. Well, then, once you play it on F, they want you to go down and play it on E. Same pattern. E, G, B, E, G, B, E, B, G, E, B, G, E, G, B, E, G, B, E, B, G, E. And you stop there. Then they want you to do it on D. So you move down, put your fifth finger on D. Then they want you to move down to C. So on the book, it prints it in F, but then it shows you on the keyboard the E chord, and it shows you on the keyboard the D chord, and it shows you on the keyboard the C chord. The goal is that when you look at the page where it's written in F, even though you're playing on E, you still do the same pattern. So it asks you to read it in F, but then when you move your hands down, you're not going to be playing the same letters that are written, but you're going to be playing the same pattern because it skips just the same way. It's in thirds just the same way if you start on E. And then you move from E down to D and do the same pattern. And you move from D down to C and do the same pattern. That's page 88 in the Adult Faber and Faber All-in-One course book. I hope that helps.